Malaysian food might just be the best overall cuisine on earth. I've just been traveling around Malaysia trying all of the best food that I could find. So effectively this was a food tour and I'm going to show you the best bits. Quite often when we think of the best countries with the best cuisines around the world, we think of places like Italy, like India, Thailand, or Chinese food. Well, in Malaysia you have the combination of all of them. You have some influences from Asia, from Europe, and in this video I'll show you the best bus station food I've ever had. I'll show you some restaurants that we ate at. I'll show you some of the best desserts that you can get here in Malaysia. Some of the best Indian food I've ever tried, some great Chinese food, Malay food, and I even tried the very hyped up Malaysian McDonald's to see if it's any good and give you my honest take on it. And one of the craziest parts about all of the food is the value for money as well. So stick around and let's get stuck in. So we have just got back to Malaysia and I'm in Kuala Lumpur airport right now, and even in the airport before you've even left the place, the amount of options you've got to eat is mad. And supposedly this restaurant where we're going now has the record for the thickest egg custard tart there is and the most ever sold. It's a weird record, but got to take what you can. This egg custard tart is actually a spin on Portugal's pastel de nata. And I've been to Portugal, and in my opinion, Malaysia's version is better. It's flaky like a croissant and sweet and savoury in the middle and a bit light like a cheesecake. Don't miss these if you go to Malaysia. The bakeries in Malaysia also tend to be very good, so they're worth checking out too, which is a difference to most countries I've been to in Southeast Asia. These were 12 ringgit for both, so they were around about $3, but we were in the airport and in my opinion they were worth it. Next on this list we head north to Ipoh, and this was actually in the bus station, and I expected to find some shop bought food or some convenience food, so this over delivered massively. Even at the bus station, which is not a huge bus station, you've just got a few shops, but you can get fresh good food. I've just got biryani rice with 2 bits of what look like barbecued grilled chicken. This meal that I had was what you call in Malaysia a Nasi Kandar, and effectively it's a buffet where you get a big plate of rice and then you get to choose the fillings you want on your plate with things like curries, side dishes and chicken. I'll explain in a little bit more depth as to what that is later on in this video, but all you need to know with this is the chicken tasted like a combination between jerk chicken and barbecue chicken, and you can find this kind of meat all over Malaysia, but I didn't think I'd find it at the bus station. And for 16 ringgit, talking less than £3 or about $5 for that. Now we're going to take a trip to the street food and Chinese food area in Georgetown, Penang. Tina's Kitchen is a Chinese-Malay restaurant that dates back 5 generations. The family used no MSG, only the best ingredients. And I'll be honest, I don't usually like Chinese food, but this was very different. It was different to any Chinese food I've tasted in the past, and it was very good. They also sold these pork sausages, which isn't super common in Malaysia, and they were unreal. The chicken wings were also very good. They were seasoned perfectly. They tasted, if you're from the UK, almost a little bit sweet and spicy like the crisps knickknacks. The curries were also good, as well as a cheeky fried ice cream at the end. A great all-round restaurant, and the fact it's a family-run business that are passionate about their product shows in the food. Would highly recommend this place if you're in Georgetown. Back to Ipoh again for this cheap, simple and tasty Arabic style meal, I believe this was. This time was a lamb shank with spicy rice. The food was served in about 5 minutes. The meal came to around £10 or 60 ringgit. It was big portions, pretty tasty. It was a lamb shank, some rice. Rem had a shawarma, and then we had some sides and 2 drinks. The lamb was falling off the bone, and even though the meal wasn't 10 out of 10, it wasn't our favourite meal in Malaysia. It just shows the variety of food available and all at a good price for good grub. The next 2 bits of food are from a trip to Kuala Lumpur last year. Number 1 is the Chinese beef roti. I have touched on this in another video about Malaysia in the past, but this place always has a queue out the door. They make it fresh in front of you to go. And if you've ever been to certain parts of Europe, you've got something called a börek in Turkey, Albania. It's a little bit like that. It's a firm pastry. You've got some mince on the inside. 10 out of 10 this thing. If you come to Kuala Lumpur, try and get yourself one. And next in Kuala Lumpur is easily one of the best meals I have had in Malaysia. And funnily enough, it was in the Pavilion shopping mall in Bukit Bintang area. And it was a lamb shank I believe it was a rendang. Had this sauce over it. We just picked it up from one of the stands. It wasn't the cheapest, but it was one of the tastiest. This lamb was absolutely unreal. And you often don't associate shopping malls and especially food halls with the best food, but this was 10 out of 10 again. And a little shout out for the bakery that I don't know the name of. We tried another egg custard tart and we tried a few other pastries. These were unreal. Honestly, most of the Asian countries I've been to have not had the best bakeries or desserts. Malaysia is an exception, and this bakery was an exception. I wish I could tell you the name of it, but just go have a mooch around near that food hall in the Pavilion Mall in Kuala Lumpur, and you might just get lucky and find it. Next, we head to the tropical island of Langkawi, where we try some Indian food, some Malaysian food, and get the honest verdict of the Malaysian McDonald's. I had the best Indian curry I've ever had here. I know this seems like a common theme in this video, but honestly, if you watch some of my other videos, I don't big things up for no reason. This curry was unreal. I had the tikka masala, Rem had the chicken masala, we had a butter naan and a garlic naan. The thing was out of this world. The restaurant was called Marush. Big statement. This is the best curry I've ever had in my whole life. Ever. This is the best curry I've ever had in my whole life. The final Malaysian meal in this video is another Nasi Kandar. So in Malaysia, it's quite common to have a kind of buffet style table, whatever, with loads of different meats and curry dishes and rice that you can choose from. One thing to note, it will usually be cold in our experience, but don't let that put you off. It's been tasty and we haven't died yet. It is a bit weird when you pick up something like fried chicken though, or rice, and you do expect it to be hot, and then you put it on your plate, you take a bite and it's cold. But it does still taste good, and it's a nice way to be in control of what you're eating and choose what you want on your plate. Just be mindful, if you're picking the meat things, they usually expect you to pick one. So if you pick 2 to 3 and you thought it was going to be a certain price, it will likely be a little bit more expensive. But even with that, the 2 meals we've just had, which are stacked with meat, some rice, a little bit of curry, and a couple other bits, have come to £13, or about $16 to $17 for both meals and 2 drinks. So it's still pretty good value for fresh food in a restaurant. There's one food I haven't yet tried in Malaysia, but I'm on my way to now. It is meant to be much better than many other places around the world, so I've heard. However, usually I don't really like it, so I'll be a fair judge of whether it is good or whether it is bad. It is a very traditional Malaysian dish, and it is called McDonald's. Bit of a weird restaurant to be touted as being good in a place like Malaysia, but we'll be the judge of it. Hold on. Got, what is that? McChicken burger. Oreo McFlurry. Chips, Sprite.
Oh, you've got that and that.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
why it's so much.
I've got the 3-piece chicken, fried chicken. Then I've got the spicy McChicken deluxe, and then medium McChicken.
It's like £9
burger. Nope. I got the 3-piece chicken combo, so I had breast, wing, and a drumstick. That was the closest to kind of the Malaysian take on McDonald's that I could find. And then I got a chicken burger as well. Rem got a McChicken burger meal, and then got a McFlurry on the side. Here is my honest take. So I'm not converted one bit, not even one bit. Average again. Don't know why everyone's saying Malaysian McDonald's is so much better. McDonald's is not good, let's have it out there, let's be honest with the world. McDonald's isn't good. I thought I would go in there, eat my meal, have ice cold aircon alongside it, and it's hot in there. I'm not even sure the AC's on, so I'm sweating, and that would have probably been the only good thing about McDonald's. The burger was good and the wing was good out of the fried chicken, but apart from that, it was just standard McDonald's. I'm not saying it's awful, I'm just not saying it's good. Anybody that says like, oh, Max is the best or whatever, like, how old are you? 6? There's so much better food out there. The pros are they sell fried chicken, and the fried chicken is somewhat good. Maybe they could do with a bit more salt in the recipe, I don't know, but it's somewhat good. And the temperature was good, it was very fresh. The price was good, it was £9, about $12 US. But it's also worth noting, we haven't eaten all day and it's about 2:30 in the afternoon. So that was our first meal of the day, so anything was going to taste good. So maybe it's not even just average, maybe it's bad and it just tasted good because we were hungry. Tell me a McDonald's in the world that isn't bang average. Malaysian food as a whole is out this world. Put McDonald's aside, the variety, the value for money, the taste, the portion size is all 10 out of 10. That's why I say I think out of the places I've visited so far, Malaysian food in terms of its diversity, the flavour and all the things that I've mentioned in this video is the best overall cuisine that there is. With the influences from around the world, from China, from India, the local Malaysian food, the European influences, it all comes together and you've got the best of it all in Malaysia. There's so much good food out there in so many different countries, but in terms of variety, I think Malaysia would be hard to beat. Guys, as always, I appreciate you tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the video and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.